breaking news this morning. California's governor declaring a state of emergency for 2 counties because of raging wildfires. Those wildfires now turning deadly.
Some 100,000 people forced out of their homes, the result of at least 8 fires burning across the state. Dozens of homes have already burned to the ground. The good news this morning, some evacuation orders have now been lifted.
More encouraging news here as well overnight. Power has been restored to 98% of the 2 million people who were cut off because of wildfire risks. And this morning, firefighters are hoping to get some relief from the winds that have been fanning the flames. We have team coverage for you. Rob is standing by with the forecast. But first, let's go to ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, who's on the ground in Los Angeles. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. Those winds were so ferocious that they sent embers hopscotching over valleys. At one point, this fire was torching over a football field a minute, leaving homes like this absolutely gutted. I want to give you a sense of how hot it was burning. Obviously hot enough to burn cars like this, but roof tiles just able to crumble like that in seconds. That's how hot it was baking, sending tens of thousands of residents in this community just fleeing into the night.
Overnight gusting winds continue to threaten the Los Angeles communities ravaged by fires. Evacuation order in place affecting nearly 100,000 residents.
I can't even see. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
So many displaced, the governor now declaring a state of emergency.
The declaration that I put forward directs all city departments to take whatever necessary steps, not only to fight this fire, but to accommodate the residents, so many who have been displaced because of this.
This morning, the Saddle Bridge fire is at least 13% contained, but it has already scorched over 7,000 acres. It felt like being in a blast furnace.
You can feel the heat coming off that fire right now. It's powerfully intense, exploding right now with all that dry fuel. Virtually no humidity right now and a tremendous amount of wind.
Helicopters and air tankers flying over forests and fires in a full-on assault. The wind-driven fire already damaging over 30 structures, crews scrambling to save as many homes as they can. Authorities say one man died of cardiac arrest while he was trying to fight the fire himself. It's one reason authorities urged residents to leave the work to more than 1,000 firefighters in the area.
These winds and dry weather do present considerable challenges, so be safe. Safe with yourself, safe with your family. This is not a fire that you can fight in your home.
But many stayed, some using garden hoses to fight incoming embers while waiting for fire crews to arrive.
The embers keep flying, and so when it really hits a house, it can really start a neighborhood on fire. But I know they're busy, so the best we can all do and kind of work together.
And as the blazes pass, residents like Jerry and Maria return to what's left. They'd been here for over 30 years and paid off their mortgage just last month. Jerry tried to save his house, but it was gone in minutes.
You see these things on TV sometimes, homes burn, but you never think that it's going to happen to you, you know.
Now, we've been driving around this morning. The fires seem to have laid down quite substantially, but firefighters are not out of the woods yet. Red flag warnings still in effect through tonight with winds gusting at up to 25 miles an hour. You can still see behind me that it's breezy. And I want to give you a sense of what else they're battling here. It's the relative humidity, less than 5%. And to give you a sense of how dry that is, a dry sauna has humidity of 10%. Still, residents hope to be able to get back into these communities by the tens of thousands at some point today. Eva.
All right, Matt Gutman for us there. Let's go to Rob now for a check of the weather and how it is likely to impact this firefight. He's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this morning, where they're hosting game day. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Eva. Well, no rain in the forecast, but the wind's dying down a little bit. Some improvement today, but the big improvement will come tomorrow. We still are going to have pockets of critical fire weather conditions, more so from L.A. to Ventura counties and inland areas. The winds will be gusty, but it's really the humidity, and that's why the red flag warning is going to remain up through the rest of today in those areas. So let's talk about, we got the fires still burning. We have those offshore winds. It's a dry compression wind. The winds will slack a little bit, but that humidity, look at that difference between inland and the coast. Single-digit numbers again today, and that's through 7 p.m. That's why the red flag warnings are up. But then tomorrow we get that offshore wind really starts to die down. We get a bit of a marine influence that will let those relative humidity levels recover, and that will help firefighters dramatically tomorrow. This all Santa Ana wind event is in response to this cold air that's come behind this snowstorm across the upper Midwest, and we have freeze warnings that are posted now from Green Bay all the way into Texas, and that cold front came through here yesterday with thunderstorms, and we cooled down dramatically here even in South Louisiana, where they are hosting game day. We'll talk more about the game and the cold weather in just a few minutes.